Welcome back to Steve Robb Reviews. Today's video is going to be all about two different models of Chevy Cruzes, and it's the door catch. So when you open up the door, there's a piece of material in there. It's a plastic piece that prevents your door from overextending and damaging your door. Well, a lot of them make noise. Not just Chevy Cruze. So many different vehicles have this particular same style of door catch. And when you open your door, all you hear is click, 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 click. It's enough to drive you crazy. So I'm going to show you how the two different styles from a 2015 to a 2017 have changed. And I'm going to go over how you can fix it yourself and save yourself a lot of money. So I've got my neighbor out in the driveway and she's watching me how to do this. And well, let's see if it resolves the problem. So let's go to the 2015 first and show you how the two different styles are different, and I'll show you at the end of the video how to actually fix the 2015 differently than on the 2017, because they are two different styles of door catches. So one, I'm actually going to use a nail, pretty cheap, everybody's got a nail, right? And the other one, I'm going to use zip ties. So let's get to it right now. Well, here we go. This is a 2015 Chevy Cruze. And I'll show you this. Do you hear any noise? No, you don't hear nothing because it's fixed. So I just want to bring you down in here, and I'm going to see if I can zoom you in real close here, because this is not easy to do. There. Now, you know what? I'm not too sure. I'm going to have to zoom in a little more. Okay. Now, can you just see on the far side of this bolt here? You see a little bit of a pin there, just the top, and that's a nail, and I'm going to show you exactly how that actually goes in, because it's impossible for me to show how this actually goes all together. But what I will tell you is, the hardest part about this job is taking this fastener out, because they have it Loctited in. So it's just a 10 mil. You just take it out, and it's about a maybe a 1-inch bolt. You take that out first. And then, well, I'm going to show you in the shop exactly how I put this in, and I'll show you how to do all this. But this style here on the up to the 2015 is much different than the 2000, I believe it's 17 we're going to look at. So I'm going to show you the 2017 next, and of course it's a little bit different, but I'm going to show you how it's fixed first, and then I'm going to show you how to fix it. So here we are in the 2017 Chevy Cruze. And I'll show you here, it's a little bit different. Now this particular door catch is a little bit different. You can see it's got that 10 mil bolt in there. You don't have to take that bolt out. And you could see just a pile of zip ties in there. And you know what? This door doesn't make any more noise. So you could see how I put the zip ties in. So I'm going to go over to the other side of the door and I'll show you what it sounds like when you open it up, because they all pretty much sound the same. And yeah, you hear a click, click, click. So we're going to go to the other door, and then I'm going to show you how to fix it and how I only use zip ties to do it with. And you don't have to take the hardware out here. So let's get to that next. Okay, so let's take a look at this one here. I'll open the door. Listen. Yeah, that's the sound right there. So let's get down here and let's take a look, and let's take a look at the difference. And if you take a look at that door catch there, well, you don't have to take the bolt out. That's not necessary. But the space between the back side, well, there's a lot of space compared to the other style. So I'm going to show you how to put the zip ties on there and make this door so it doesn't make that noise anymore. So let's get to it, and I'll just have you another listen to the noise here, because it makes the same when they close. So let's get to it right now and show you how easy it is with just zip ties. Okay, so I'm going to try and do this without getting in the way as well. It's quite hard to film in here, but as you can see, the plastic that goes around here that shields this is actually cracked, and that's what happens, and it causes this clicking action to actually go between here and the far side, and the extra space that goes around here is just the plastic itself making noise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one zip tie here, just like this. Then I'm going to put it through here, through the middle, and around the back side. Just like this. And then I'm going to use two more. So I'll bring you back when that's done. Okay, so they have to be really, really tight on there. So I use a pair of pliers, really cinch them down like this. You can see how much that tightened it down there, right? And then I get my flush cut pliers and snip it off. So let's see if that resolved it so far, because that's exactly what I did to the other side, and the noise went away. So let's take a look at that and let's see if that resolved the noise and tightened up the distance between here and on the far side of that bushing that goes in here and eliminates the noise. Okay, you ready? Let's see how this goes. Okay, so there's still a little bit of noise there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put a little bit more of a zip tie going a crisscross on either side, and then I'll bring you back. Okay, so on this particular door I had to add a couple of more zip ties to it because actually the plastic is actually damaged a little more on the back side than the other door, and we're going to take a little bit of a listen here and see if that made any improvement. Well, it still does make a bit of a noise, so let's just fill in the gap again with one more zip tie or maybe two. Okay, so there's two more zip ties, and I don't think I could fit any more in. It's not the prettiest looking zip tie contraption in there, but let's see if it took the noise away. Now that is a lot better than before. Now it's not perfect, but I tell you what, for the money, I probably spent about 15 cents worth of material, and I think it's a win. So what does my next door neighbor think about this idea, and how much was she quoted when she went to the dealership to get this fixed? Let's talk to my next door neighbor and let's see what she has to say. Okay, so let's just take a look at what I actually used. And what I actually used was just a finishing nail, a 1 1/4 inch finishing nail, and I trimmed it to 3/4 of an inch because that's the distance from the one side of that door catch to the far side. So I did trim this end here down to 3/4 of an inch. So how did I actually get this to flatten out? So I mean, this is flattened out to about 1/16 of an inch, and all I did was first of all I took the nail and I bent the head, this end here, on a 90-degree angle, and then I brought it over to just a steel metal vise I have and just flattened it out. So when you go to the door, it's going to be in this position like this, right? So I used my needle nose pliers, and all I did was, with that bolt removed, now you might need somebody else to help you just to hold the door so it doesn't swing open and damage anything, because it will swing all the way open now once the door is open, right? So you have to make sure, it's best to have somebody there with you to hold the door so it doesn't move on you. And then you can grab that catch and just press this in like that. And once you have it pressed in just that far, now of course this is longer. I trimmed mine off to 3/4 of an inch because I didn't want to have all this sticking out the back side. But if this doesn't bother you, well, it doesn't make a difference, right? But once you're that far, then what I do is I had a big pair of pliers like this. Just adjustable pliers. And I just squeezed it. So this here goes into where you've seen it. So I just squeeze on the back side and make sure that this is squeezed all the way in. So when you're looking at it on the door, it'll be in this position like this. And you'll be on the front side and you'll be squeezing it. So this squeezes into the door itself. See if I just put this on the side here. Yeah, it squeezes into the door catch itself until this part is flush, just like you've seen in the demonstration. And that's how easy it is. All you have to do is just get a 1 1/4 inch finishing nail, pound it down to about a 1/16 of an inch with your hammer, and that is about a 2-cent fix. Okay, so this is my next door neighbor Vicki, and that was her 2017 Chevy Cruze. 2017?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And Vicki, could you just tell us how much were you quoted to have that fixed?
Well, I think at the dealer they quoted me $150 per door.
Per door. And I used about 10 cents worth of materials, and I fixed 2 Chevy Cruzes, both doors, and are you happy, Vicki?
I am very happy because that thing was driving me crazy.
There you go.
Everybody knew when I was coming, when I was leaving.
Yeah. So there you go. So thanks for joining me here today, and another happy customer. Come back again next week. And if you haven't seen this channel before, you're welcome to subscribe and maybe see more of Vicki.
Maybe. Thanks, Steve.